with them. Yeah, that's okay. And then this one. And that's recording. Lovely job. Hello everybody, my name is Nigel and this is Leah, my client for today. So just a quick brief history about Leah. She has a little bit of reformer experience. She mostly does mat Pilates, both in person and online, so she's good experience of the whole Pilates jazz, okay? So just with her as well, she's an avid runner. She kind of gets out 3-4 days a week. So what she wants to get out of coming into reformer work is more of a global kind of strength and conditioning sphere like angle, but there is like a little bit of a background of lateral hip pain on her right hand side, so we're going to work in a bit of rehab stuff with that as we go through the class, okay? So Leah, you're very welcome, and thanks a million for being my client for the day. So look, I'm just going to give you a rundown of this reformer. This is one of the Align Pilates products, okay? It's not a commercial one, so there's subtle differences to that. For one, with this one, I don't have a safety bar when we move the leg press. Now, it won't be an issue as we move things around, but it's just that we know. As well for you guys knowing that that's why I'm not cueing the safety pin when we do move things, because there is none. The other side of it is just the spring selection. So this has 4 springs. Your commercial ones will have 5.
Okay.
All right. They do come in color codes and they have different intensities. So the blue one is light. The red ones, there's 2 red ones, is medium, and then the green one is a more harder one. But we adapt it as we go through. So at any point during any exercise, like I'm going to challenge you between easy intensity and then kind of build you up, build it down. So, you know, feedback from you as we go through, you know. I don't want to overcook you either, but a good all-round workout is what we're going to go through. So the class structure, we'll get our warm-up done. With that then, it's onto the reformer. I'm going to go through a leg work series first, build that in with some arm and core work, and then mix things up then with sideline series, and then some other things just to build a bit of flexibility.
Great. Challenge
the legs a bit more. So as we are, let's stand this side just in case the framing on the camera. We're just going to mimic me. So get the feet nice and wide. We'll do a bit of mobility work as we start. So both hands down to the floor, bend the knees, and up again. Let's go for 5 of these. You're nice and slow. And up top. Good. 3. And let's keep the knees a bit straighter now. Feel a bit of a stretch in the back of the leg. And come tall. And last one. Gently down. And up again. Good. We're going to walk on the spot. Get the blood flowing now. So I want you to think posture. Up tall. Alright. Shoulders are broad, and let's get a bigger swing in the arms. Big military style. And then we'll bring the arms down again. We're going to do a side step with a heel kick. So a little bit more dynamic now, all this stuff. But waking up the legs. Lovely. Both arms in at the same time, bending and straightening. So once you have a bit of rhythm, let's go faster. Okay? So once you go a little quicker, seeing does that rhythm disappear? A little quicker. And slow it down, good, and then shake out. So we're going to do a nice rotation now. So I want you to put your right foot forward, mimic me here. So in our split stance, both hands to the front, you're going to rotate this way. So out to your right, following the hand, open the arms wider, come back to center, and again, and back, and 3, back to center, 2, and 1, and back. Swap the feet. So we're going to rotate the opposite direction, 5 repetitions. So your left foot's in front, follow your left hand, open the arms wider as you do so, come back. And 4, 5, 3, 2, and 1 more, good. And shake off the arms. Come up onto the tippy toes. Walking on the spot, try to get the head to touch the ceiling. Again, that postural element, chin tucked in. That classic Pilates thing with a lengthened neck, broad shoulders, down onto your heels, keep the toes in the air, walking like a duck. Lovely, and shake it out. Good, not too bad. Arms to the front, bounce them up and down, just nice and smooth. So as you're doing this, keep your back strong. You don't want to feel like you're kind of falling in inward and out to the side. Good, out to the front, palm of the hand up, out to the side. And then shake it all out. Open and close. A little bit of a walk again. Right. Feeling loosened out?
Yeah.
Warmed up a bit?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we're going to go straight to the reformer now. Just to remind you as well that the headrest can go up and you can come down, just depending on your own comfort as well as you lie down. All right, so let's go. Get you lying down. So I have it set up at the moment with 4 springs. This is just to kind of challenge the legs that little bit more. At any point, if you want to go down on them, just give me the nod. I'm going to go for it. So I've clicked into position. It's always the awkward bit, is just lying down into it. Perfect. So, technically speaking, this is called second series, okay? So get your feet about hip width apart. Now, foot positioning, it kind of depends on what your preference is. You can maybe start with the heel of your foot pressing the bar. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, push away. Push all the way, slowly coming back again. So just for these first few reps, I want you going slow. Breathing out, push away. And as you breathe in, you return the carriage. Nice and gentle. Lovely. So the smooth tracking up and down is what we're looking at to start. Now just checking in the intensity on that. 4 springs appropriate for you?
Okay, yeah.
Sound good. Excellent. So keep the arms relaxed. You're going to lengthen the head and neck. Keep the chin tucked in just a little bit. You want to draw the center of the core inward. So thinking you're tightening the waistline in. And a powerful breath out. And return with a big breath in. Fill the lungs as much as you can. And out. Good. So just with your foot placements being on the heel, is that all nice? You're okay there as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going. So we can pick the pace up a small amount.
Okay.
Up and down. Feeling that nice flow of movement where we're not really stopping at either end. We just tip to one side, back to the other. Perfect. Very good. Nice and steady with it. So never really losing control of our breathing as we go through this entire class. Your breath is under control. So we won't be going to a speed where you're getting breathless or anything like that. It's not the goal today. But more slow focus on strengthening time under tension. These type of variables, alright? So let's move into the middle of the foot now, so just to reposition and push away again. Same thing. Breathe out, push, and come back. So as we kind of move, like some people do prefer it on the middle of the foot compared to their heel, for example. It might be a bit more comforting. And then other people actually prefer to go to the ball of the foot. So we'll experiment with those 3 different things as we go through our repetitions here. Just want you to build your capacity. So going for the next 3 reps, focusing on what muscles are working hardest for you as you do this, okay? So these will be the fellas here, your quads at the front of the thigh, tensioning and returning, and then one more just smooth. And as you return now, returning the carriage, I want you to put the ball of your foot on the bar, gripping like the toes are like fingers gripping, just the same movement, pushing away. So we're getting a little bit more muscle activity in the legs here. You feel those calves going? Good. It's very handy to have the grippy socks as well, these, isn't it? Yeah. The ones I have on, they'd be slipping a bit, but it's okay. Nice and steady. So I might challenge you a bit more. We've been going a nice smooth pace, but let's pick up the pace a bit. Go a little quicker up and down. So this is again no real like stopping point. Up, down. Up, down. Keep the waistline drawn in, shoulders broad, chin tucked inwards just a little bit. Excellent, go faster. I'm going to challenge you now, go a bit quicker. Now it's not to get you breathless, but just to challenge your muscles and the legs more. A little bit quicker. That's good speed. Now, we're going 10 seconds at this pace. That's the job. Feeling that extra intensity because we've added speed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowing that down. Return the carriage to its resting position. You put the feet more on top of the bar. You're going to keep the knees kind of together, but just do a bit of a gentle twist. And side to side. Good. We're going to be kind of building in a little bit of mobility work. Gentle stretches as we go through as breathers and breakers, okay? Lovely job. Now we're going to reposition the feet. So I want you to get the feet as wide as you can on the bar. And then rotate them outwards. So that you want to think the toes are facing the walls of the room as much as you're able to get them to. Open the knees a bit wider. Push the carriage away as you breathe out. And now return back. It's the same exercise, but by rotating the legs out, you'll feel the muscle activity very different. Inside of the hips, the glutes, inner thigh, all going into overdrive with this fella. But as long as we have that emphasis of the toes facing outwards and also the knees facing outward, that's tolerated. So the pacing looks nice and good for you here. Controlled up and down, perfect range as well, get the knees dead straight and back. Again, intensity on the spring is appropriate for you.
Yeah, it's challenging, but it feels
What
good.
you want.
Yeah.
Great. Good stuff. So let's build up your capacity. Continue with the reps. Nice and steady. One more time under tension. Commands for the muscle. Waistline drawing in. Lovely. And now the extra challenge. You apply more speed. Again, not to the point where you're getting breathless, but up and down faster. Good. That's excellent. Now go a little quicker. Go 10 seconds at a faster pace. Good, strong pulsing. Good. That's it, working hard into it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow that down. Return the carriage. Take both knees to your chest, just give them a gentle hug. Lovely. So we're going to give the bigger leg muscles a break. We're going to move into an ankle series, okay, or a foot series.
Yeah.
Go through a few different variations here. So the foot placement is the ball of the foot on the bar again. Toes are gripping as if they were fingers. Push the carriage away to the far side of the room and hold there. That's our new start position. So away you go and hold. So I'm going to get you going with both feet at the same time. So let both heels come underneath the bar and push away. Lift lowers, nice and smooth. Little bit of a pause at either end of the range. So you'll feel into the muscles getting a stretch.
Yeah.
And now obviously the muscles working in contraction here. Excellent. Again, now checking in, how's the intensity?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as a runner, calf muscles are super important. The stronger they are, actually, the more efficient you will get if you're running long term. Do you do any calf work?
Not as much as I should.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this feels good actually.
Okay.
Challenging.
Yeah. Especially with the toes gripping, gets your feet going harder as well. I mean, not often we get the muscles inside the foot working,
Yeah.
so it does give a good going over. So at this pace, it's nice and handy. I want you to focus back in for feeling the stretch as you push the heels under, and then push away, feel the muscles. And now back under, and push away. We'll do 2 more just at this pace, and then I'm going to mix it up a bit. All right. And back under. All right.
That's feeling a bit challenging now.
Yeah. So come back out of it. You can rest the carriage. Point one foot up to the ceiling. Toes back down, and then swap over. Good. So I'm going to keep you with this foot series, but I will take a red spring off.
Okay.
So that's one of the mediums, back down to 3. So ball of the foot back on. Push the carriage away, straightening out the legs. Our new start point. Toes are gripping. We're going to stay with the exact same thing we did, but I want to change the tempo. So you go both heels underneath, and then push away. Full range, you're just doing bit, and quicker in your pacing. Up, down. There you go. Oh, another 10 seconds. Will you hold out?
Yeah.
Getting the workout done.
Yeah.
No running tomorrow. And we'll slow that down. But it's okay. Come all the way back. Again, we'll get the toes pointed back towards you. So if you straighten out one leg, and then go to the other side. And up. Good. Perfect. So we're going to mix things up a bit. We're going to go through a bridging sequence too. So the bridging exercise would actually focus more on the muscles that are here at the back of the leg. So you can have the feet about hip width apart. You're more on top of the bar with the feet. Now this first version, I'm going to put the extra spring on because it'll actually kind of help you a little bit. You're not to let the carriage move. Now it might move a bit, that's fine, but think minimal movement. I just want you to now to lift your bum in the air, drive your hips to the ceiling, and I want you to hold here at the top. Push the feet into the bar a bit harder, and then you roll back down. Perfect control on the way back down. You lift up. I want you to pause at the top. Feel the muscles working hard. 3, 2, 1. Roll back down the spine, feeling each segment coming in contact. Your hips touch the bed. You push back up again. 3, 2, 1. Gently back down. Slowly and smoothly, and then drive back up. Dig the feet harder. 2, 1, and down. And again, driving up, we'll do 5 more. 3, 2, 1. Slowly down with that backward rotation of the pelvis so you roll through the spine comfortably. 3, 2, 1. Down slow, smooth. 3 more, driving and lowering. Pushing hard, squeeze the glutes more. Buttock muscles tightening and back down. And again, 1 more, drive up, push, 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 push. 2, 1. Come back down slow. Come back down smooth. Good. Now you're going to do a gentle twisting motion with the legs side to side just to give the muscles a break. You'll find a little bit of relief with these. Shake out and take both knees to your chest. Give them a hug. Good. So what we're going to do, I'll take off another spring. We're going back to the ankle or the foot series. But this one is called the walking series. So it's similar-ish, but it's opposite leg. So one knee goes up to the ceiling with the heel lifting too, while the other one, the heel goes under the bar. So let's get you into the start position. A little bit more, they might be a bit more hands-on to start you with this one. So push the carriage away to the far side. So I'm going to start with your right knee lifting up to my hand. Another one under. Perfect, that's it. And now you swap. And now you swap. That's it. Lovely. So it is kind of like we're doing a fancy walk down the street. And we're going to keep going. So slow enough in nature at the start. I want you to kind of feel into the opposing stretch and muscle activity going on opposite sides. Again, we keep our core drawn inward. We want to keep that centering now as we go through this, not to let the hips rock around too much either. Thinking of it just for a knee, hip, ankle movement. Lovely. And lengthening out the neck, keep the chin tucked in just a bit. Breathing is comfortable and steady. And now let's go quicker. So up and down faster. Again though, you don't want to ever sacrifice control with that speed element. You know, if you feel like things are moving, feels a bit jerky or just a little bit off, you know, if we're going too quick then. But this is okay. Good. Again, toes stay engaged across the bar, gripping as the fingers. That's the job. Can you go a little quicker? Let's challenge your speed now. You have excellent control. You have 10 seconds at this. Nice and fast, focused in on the feeling of it, breathing strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring that back. Take the knees to your chest. Give it a little hug. Good. So I'm going to keep 3 springs on now. I'm going to go back into doing a leg series, which is challenging you by doing single leg.
Okay.
Alright, so it's technically this leg press type movement we did. But we're going to go through one leg at a time. So take your right leg into the tabletop position, just like so. Again, your foot positioning should be one of your preference. So kind of maybe your midfoot, I think was more your preference, wasn't it? Big breath in, breathing out, and coming back, slow and smooth. We're going to go for 10 to 9. This is called the tabletop now, because one leg is up in the air in that tabletop position. But we find that same flow, that same rhythm. I mean, our same principles of keeping the core engaged, shoulders broad, neck lengthened, and that breathing pattern is under control. That lateral, outward breathing of the rib cage. Lovely. How's the leg holding up?
Yeah, good. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, not overcooked. 3, another 2, and another 1. And pausing, swapping over. So left leg comes into tabletop position. You prepare with that deep breath in, you push away as you breathe out. For 10, 9, that's excellent. 8, 7, fully straightening out that knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, and another 1. Now coming back, put both feet back onto the bar. So a little bit more on top. Staying with just 3 springs on, we're going back into a bridging exercise. Now this variation is different, it's more dynamic. The carriage will move up and down. So the feet are maybe hip width apart or thereabouts. So I want you to come into your new start position. So backward rotate the pelvis a little bit, then lift up into the air. This is your start and end point, okay? Keep the hips high at all times. This is your cue. I want you to drive the carriage to the far side of the room. And now come back. Push the hips to the ceiling as you come back. Push higher with the hips. There you go. And 9. And back. 8. And back. 7. Hips up nice and high. 6. 5. 4. A little gentler on that return. 3. 2. And last one. And then return the carriage, keeping the hips high. Up, 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 up. Carriage comes back to its resting position. You roll back down your spine gently, slowly. And now take the knees to the chest, give them a hug. Feel a bit of relief into the back of the hip and your lower back. Maybe a gentle rock side to side. Good. We're going back into our one leg series, our single leg series, but it's a little bit more coordination element driving into it. So it's called the bicycle. So we're going to set you up with the right leg in the air. So right leg to tabletop position. I want you now to push the carriage away and pause there at this point. So just here the focus. I want you to take your knee, like not with your hand, just actively bring your knee more towards you. Do you feel that extra muscle activity going on in both hips?
Yeah.
So the back of the left from to the right. Now as you bring your carriage back to its resting position, straighten your right leg to the far wall of the room, and now push away, bring your knee back up, and now go again. Lovely. So a little bit more coordination that's needed. Straighten, push, and straighten the right leg, bend the right knee up. Lovely. Can we go for another 6?
Yep.
5, 4, lovely, 4 minutes. 3, 2, another 1, and coming back. We swap over. So just for that first rep, when you push the carriage away, drive your left knee up towards you and pause. So I want you to feel into that extra activity going on. Can you bring your knee a little further?
Yeah.
And now as you bring yourself back, straighten and continue for 9, 8, perfect, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and bringing that back. So we're going to give the legs a little bit of a break now. How are they feeling after
Yeah,
that?
good.
Good sequence? Yeah. So we'll be changing what you have here on the spring selection. So you come off over the edge. Let's just see how you get on with changing them yourself as well. So it's currently at a red, a green and a blue. We're going to go for 2 reds and 1 blue.
Okay.
We'll see how we go with it. This fella here as well. There we go. Now you're going to lie back down onto your back. We're going for the arm series. So arms and straps. This is going to challenge your shoulder muscles. So you lie down first into it, and then it'll be easier just to reach back for them. So this will be more demanding on the arms and the stomach. What we're doing here with that spring selection is just to experiment, okay? Because you do have really good capacity. You're great strength and conditioning going on. You're in great condition. So let's just challenge it first. If you find this too tough, we'll lower it down.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you reach into it, grab one strap or both at the same time. I just want you to see that there is actually 2 loops. You have a longer loop and a smaller loop. We'll go to the smaller one. We're going to reach both hands up to the ceiling. We'll just pause here. All right. So this is technically a whole battery of things, just like the leg sequence. This is called the mid-back series. First one is called the plow. So if you take your legs, both of them, into tabletop position and hold. We're going to keep the head rested as we begin, just so you find your rhythm with the arms moving. So as you take a deep breath in to prepare, breathing out, both hands come down to the side. And as you breathe in, both hands come back up. Good. And down. That pacing is perfect. You're not going quick with these. We want that time under tension. You want the arm movements with your breathing pattern. So checking in after like 3 reps there, how's that intensity? Is
That's
appropriate?
fine. I could maybe try a little bit stronger, but maybe just go with this for the moment.
Sure, yeah. What we can do after a little bit, because we will be adding in more like abdominal crunches to advance it. You might get spicy, which is fine, you know. It's good to have that strong core and a good power in the arms as well. So let's keep going here for 2 more repetitions with this one. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to stay on this plow exercise, but I'm going to scale you in different ways to make it harder. And that's the theme for this mid-back series. So once your hands come up to the ceiling, I want you to pause there. You can put the feet down. I'll just explain what you're doing. So as you set up for the next one, the advancement of it is when you bring the arms down, you curl your head and shoulders up so that you're trying to look up over the knees to the far wall.
Okay.
So legs up into tabletop position, big breath in, and arms down, curling up. Full breath out. Now you lower back down. That's it. And up again. Reach the hands to the far wall and down. So when you curl up, keep the hands about 1 inch off the bed and reach. You feel that tightening effect more in the stomach, a bit more intense on that. Perfect. So as we do these, we won't be picking up any pace or anything like that. We're keeping it slow. Keeping really focused on the form. It's excellent. Very, very good. Strong, smooth and steady in our flow. So I want you to do 2 more after you finish this rep, and then I'm going to make it a little bit more challenging, but you'll keep going. So the change is, instead of the knees being bent, I want you to straighten the feet up, or legs up to the ceiling, and now do the same thing. Very good. So, continuing with this, 5. Tighten the stomach in more, reach both feet up and curl up higher, and down. 3 more repetitions, curl up, and down. 2, and down, and 1. Perfect. Gently down. Pop the feet onto the bed. You can keep the hands on the straps, but let the arms down to your side. Gently do a twisting motion with the legs side to side, just to feel a bit of relief into the abdomen. So just check it in now. Do you think you want to go a bit higher on your springs for the next one? Or do you want to stay?
I'll stay.
You'll stay. Okay. Very good. No bother. So look, we're going to follow the same sequence where I'll keep your head rested, then advance it a bit, and then a bit more. We're doing a different arm orientation, so the arms are out to their side now. I want you to think into your T shape, side arms, okay? So the same movement, as you breathe out, the hands come down to the hip, down to the side of the body. As you breathe in, the arms come back. You have more of a lengthening effect though, okay? So legs into tabletop position, you take that deep breath in to prepare, breathing out, arms down, and back. So again, think you have to keep it parallel to the floor as we do this one. Smooth, steady. That's the job. So in fairness, when your head is rested, you could definitely probably put on an extra spring.
Yeah.
But when they start adding in those curls, not always about max intensity though, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to add in an abdominal curl now. Arms to the side, all the way up, reach the hands to the wall at the far side of the room. And let's continue. We're going to do another 5. 4. 3. Tighten stomach in that bit more. 2. 1. Now straighten the legs. 5 more repetitions. Each time you curl up, get the feet to touch the ceiling. That's the cueing. Straightens the legs further. Good. So reaching for my hand here. Go again. See where my hand's at? So the feet not going this way. More up here.
Going
Yeah,
up.
exactly. Just to straighten towards my hand. So
Oh, sorry.
curl up again. That's it. It's a little bit different.
Okay, yeah.
So just to show what you were doing.
Yeah.
Hold my hand here. So curl up again. You were going this way.
Oh, backwards.
Yeah,
Instead of just
so keeping them straight to the ceiling. Go again for 2. It's a subtle difference, but it does change things a bit. Yeah. And 1. And rest the head. Drop the feet down. How's the stomach?
Yeah, good. Not quite.
So we're going to mix things up here. I'm going to keep the head rested, give the abs a break, but we're going to do arm circles. It basically combines those last 2 things we did. We'll just keep your head rested. So legs in tabletop position, hands to the ceiling. The direction we're going first of all, hands come down to the side of your body, out wide into your T shape, back up to the ceiling. So as we go around, you'll start to feel a bit of a flow and a rhythm, like a rhythm with that. There's no any stopping. It's just a nice big circle. The bigger the circle, the more demanding it is on the shoulder here. So if you need to adapt it and make a smaller one, if you're finding it's too hard, that could be a thing to scale it down.
Okay.
That's all you need to, you know. Good. Perfect forming. Speed, maybe slowing the speed down a small amount. Something that can happen, you see, just as you continue to do the movement, I'll explain it. If we go too fast with arms and straps, we sometimes can overshoot our spring.
Okay.
And what you'll feel is the carriage is this like jerky motion. So it's just that control of the movement kind of matters for that sense of things as well. But you have it now. That's perfect. So let's do 2 more in this direction. And 1 more, and then with that, once you come around, let's go the other way. So hands out to the side, down to the hip, and back up to the ceiling. Let's find that nice flow that you just had again. Nice speed. That's the job. How are you finding these?
Yeah, challenging now on the return kind of. But
Yeah, especially with that lengthening effect. It's like you're trying to reach the far side of the room as you make your circles. It does give the tummy a little bit of a break.
yeah.
Good. So let's do 2 more. Into 1 more. And with that, the feet can go down onto the bar, relax the arms, soften the body. Big breath in, long breath out. And then we're going to do a twisting motion with the legs, so just to twist them to the side. So you keep the feet actually on the bar, a bit more relaxing as you twist side to side. Good. So I'm going to stay with this arm and strap theme. We're going to now just work the arms a little bit differently and then re-engage the core muscles again, as though we're introducing those abdominal crunches. So tuck your elbows in by your side. This is into tricep work. So the triceps is fella here at the back of the arm. So the elbows stay tucked in, legs come back into tabletop position. Breathe in to prepare, breathing out, you straighten the arms. Breathing in, you bend them. And straightening and bending. Beautiful. So 3 more of this version. 2 more. 1 more. And now as you straighten, curl up, breathe out fully, and back. So let's keep the arms an inch off the bed. There you go. So that adds more stability, a lot more demanding. How are you holding up on that? 3, 2, 1, and rest the head. That's the job. Good. I'm going to start to mix things up a bit here, okay? So the arms got a lot of movement there. I'm going to now challenge the stomach muscles and the legs, and the arms are going to be more still. So the positioning you're starting with, let's put the arms down by your side. Both legs come up into tabletop position and hold yourself here. So you can keep the arms maybe like that, elbow about an inch off the bed, so that we're not overly stabilizing there either. So obviously our stomach muscles here have to work a good amount. I'm going to get you to straighten your right leg to the far wall of the room and keep it about an inch off the bed. About there. Core is drawn in, strong, breathing powerful. Now swap sides. So left leg and hold. 3, 2, 1. So straighten and pause. We want a little bit more of a hold on these ones. And then swap to the right leg again. And hold it. 3, 2, 1. And left side. 3, 2, 1. And right side. You were doing your one leg stretch from the maverick there. Back to left. And hold the left leg straight. So really reaching it out. You feel that like pulling effect through the leg. Now back to the right leg for 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Back to the left leg. 3, 2, 1. Back to the right leg. And back to the left leg. That is excellent control. How are you finding the intensity on these ones?
Yeah.
Manageable?
Yeah.
Okay, so bend the knees back. I'm going to keep you going. Curl the head and shoulders up. I want you looking at the far wall. Arms down by the side and tight. Breathing is hard. We're doing the exact same tempo. Right leg straighten. 3, 2, 1. Left leg. 3, 2, 1. Right leg tightening in. 3, 2, 1. Left leg. 3, 2, 1. 4 more. Strong with the movement. Left leg. 3, 2, 1. And right leg. Second last one. And left leg. 2, 1. Bend the knees. Drop the head. Relax the body. That's a nice one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good. So holding up really strong on those. Definitely looked like you could go further with it, but we're just going to change up a little bit what we're doing. So that was one leg at a time. We're now going to challenge you with both legs at the same time.
Okay.
So because I can see you have plenty of control here in the stomach, I'm going to get you to curl up first of all. And that's it. So a bit of a squeeze of the ankles. You're going to move both legs at the same time and only with the breath. So take a big breath in to prepare. Straighten out the legs as you breathe out. Breathe in, bend the knees back. And straighten. And bending. And straighten. And bending. Beautiful. And continuing. Double leg stretch. A little bit more intensity on these ones compared to Maverick, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Can you add 3, 2, and 1, and hold. 3 seconds. 2, 1, and back. Drop the head and shake out. That's excellent. So we can start now at this point. I can see you definitely have all the control, but let's play with your coordination.
Okay.
Alright, so this is going to be moving arms and legs. It's going to play with the brain a bit differently, so let's see how you get on with that.
Okay.
We're going to do the tricep version of the arms. So we're starting you there. So tuck the elbows in by the side, legs are in tabletop position. You're going to move both legs, both arms, straighten both at the same time, and curl the head and shoulders up to the far wall. Big breath in, big breath out. Good. So straighten the legs, lower them down a little further, thinking towards this hand here. A bit harder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you tolerate that one? You can. Well, able. 6. Into another 5, 4, excellent control here, very, very good. 2, and another 1. Beautiful. Rest on the head, relax the body, drop the feet to the bar. You can put your strap back into their holder here, just above the shoulder. So, you okay?
Yeah.
Not overcooked?
No.
Good stuff. We're going to move into the sideline series. So with these, I want to show you positioning first of all, because it will matter.
Okay.
So you can come off the edge of the carriage. We're going to get the foot bar down out of the way. So just with these, you know, sometimes with the carriages, if you grab one side, it just doesn't really line up. So you're always a little bit better to grab the middle between the springs.
Okay.
And I want it down out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned with the right hip sometimes gives you a bit of a jib.
Yeah.
So we're going to challenge the right leg first.
Okay.
So how we position ourselves is that we sit at the end, and I'm going to have my head resting on this one as I lie down onto my left hand side. Now, one thing I want you to really be aware of here, see how my back is in alignment with the back? Yeah, that's very important. If you have your hips out this way, if you're diagonal, it actually is really awkward to go through the set. So you're back here, all right? You see I'm in my fetal position. You can put your bottom arm to support your head further. You will grab the top strap. You're going to pull out and into here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to hold you there. Now, one thing I want to say, as you go through leg press movement, like I'm demonstrating, if you find like, oh, it's getting a bit challenging, too much for your hip on the right, if you hold, you can actually facilitate the movement.
Okay.
So I just want you to be aware of that too. So this is the leg press you're going into first of all. So the leg goes behind you a bit, you'll feel your glutes working hard. So that's our first version, and just to show you the next one, is that you're doing side kick, like so.
Okay.
Again, pendulum swing of the leg, and the leg goes behind you, and then we'll do some lift lowers, and then I'm going to challenge you into full circles,
Okay.
and then the leg comes back. Okay, now I'm going to drop the spring selection down.
Okay.
You don't need to be going too heavy on these. When we get you on one breath.
Okay.
Now, so kicking as I did to get into position. So this is the important bit, is actually just getting that back in alignment. It's kind of the awkwardness of it. You can just feel in behind, that's perfect. And you're going to take the strap. So there's a slight difference when you're using which loop, you know. I demonstrated in the bigger loop,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit harder in the smaller loop, just
Okay.
so you're aware of it. You might
Okay.
feel like more stress through it. So
Okay, I'll try this.
let's keep doing the bigger loop
Yeah.
first. Now, what you're going to do, before you start, support your head with the left hand a bit more. The right hand can be like here, just so that the body doesn't roll around
Mhm.
in such ways. So both feet together in a movement there. Now open this one up a bit. Now push to leg press. Leg goes behind you. Now bend the knee back a bit. And do that again. Perfect. First few always feel a bit strange in the sideline position.
Yeah.
You know, it's not as supported as the last, flow we've done with the leg series and the arms and strap series. Nice and slow, especially that little swing of the leg behind you. Really getting in on the glutes. Perfect. How's the hip feeling on these ones?
Yeah, it feels
Not
good
too bad.
actually. Yeah, it's a little bit unstable, but
Mhm. Yeah, and like this is the thing, if we go quick, you will feel like, oh, it's a bit more shaky. You slow it down, you'll feel a bit smoother with it. So let's do that. I'll just facilitate a bit. You see how the feels a bit nicer now, does it?
yeah.
It's just only a fingertip of facilitation on that. So slow it down. 3 more. And 2 more. Good. And 1 more. Can I pause you there?
Yeah.
Lovely. This is your new start point.
Okay.
Side kick. So you just gently bring the leg out and bring it back behind you. Picture perfect. Very, very good here. So I want to build up a bit more reps on this one. So this one is actually a little bit more specific and I'd say more important for your running.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it's the same leg movement nearly, as you mimic that running cycle. So we're building on a lot of your stability on the outside of the hip. It was most likely a tendon there,
Yeah.
was it? Did you ever get it looked at properly?
No, I didn't actually. Just kind of actually you recommended some exercises
Oh
and
yeah.
weight exercises, and actually that helped a lot.
Both recommendations.
Yeah.
Good, let's do 3 more. And 2 more. I think you need to do more reformer work. You're absolutely excellent at it.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah. And now you can bend your knees. Just to pause, bring your feet together, just hold on to the rope, give you a little break. Good. You okay on those?
Yeah.
So this is just to give that hip, we're not overcooking it. I don't want to, cross that threshold. Just to mimic the next one. You'll have the legs straightened towards the end of the reformer. It's that lift lower, so you lift up and down.
Okay.
Yeah, just like I was doing with the arm. But one thing I'll note, let's straighten away the leg first of all. You have your toes facing this wall over here. You keep them there.
Oh.
So when you lift your leg up, I don't want you to rotate out.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I'll actually even get you back here and now up and down. So you're only going within the range that your hip will allow you.
Yeah.
It's easy to
Not very far, but looks good.
No, that's fine. But you see, that's the thing, we can twist out of it and go higher.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's better.
Yeah.
But this is just a little bit more focused for that hip stability for this area.
Yeah.
Nice. So again, don't let the leg drift forward, keep it back behind you as you go up and down. Another 3, 2, and another 1. Now, straight into leg circles.
Yeah.
So you're going to actually go the other way. I'm going to get you out to the front, leg dead straight, come up towards here, towards the ceiling, circle back around behind you, and down. Very big range of motion. You're okay on that control and that size of
I
the circle,
think
are you?
so.
Looks good. As long as it's not irritating, And
No,
again,
it
you have the
doesn't.
control through range, which is very, very impressive. First. Good. So 3 more, and then we're going to flip sides. Into 2 more. And into 1 more. To say this is really, really good control. Very impressive. So bend your knee, feet together, hold on to the strap. Now this bit, just be careful. I want just safety side.
Yeah.
When you're taking your foot out of the strap, it's just to guide the carriage back
Back
slowly, so you
slowly,
don't catch your foot on anything. And then it's like climbing the rope. A little bit further, a few inches back. And we're going to reposition to the opposite side. Okay. Do you need any water at this point? or anything?
No,
You
okay,
okay?
thank you. Yeah.
So, other way.
But the other way.
Yeah, so you put it is the awkward bit of getting in, the head is there. You reach behind to make sure that the butt is aligned with the back. There you go. Both knees forward and in that fetal position, you're going to put the foot into the top strap. Now you use the bigger loop as well, so we'll just mimic that again. Beautiful, and you're about midfoot. So this was the leg press. So just to show you again to mimic it, pushing back behind you a bit, and like that. Good. So what's excellent with your control and all this, your body isn't rolling forwards or backwards or doing any overarching flexing kind of movements. This is purely your leg doing all the work. Do you feel stronger on this side?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You have better alignment this way. It's like more parallel with the floor. I'm like huge on the last one. I had to kind of go in a little bit, but this one seems a bit smoother. Good. And then again, as you come back, push behind, and then forward with the knee bend. Good. 3 more. Into 2 more. And 1 more. So straighten away again. We're going straight into your side kick. So slowly out, slowly back. Thinking your leg is a pendulum as you swing it. And as best you can, you're keeping everything drawn in, not letting too much movement happen in the lower back. A little bit is always natural and normal, but we just minimize it to isolate the leg further. Good. Picture perfect. Very good. So let's go for another 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. And then you can bend the knees back. I'm just going to give you that a little bit of a break. You can hold on to the rope as well to offload it a little bit. How's the hip holding up on the
Yeah,
side?
good.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we'll flow into our lift lowers. When you straighten away the leg, you keep the toes facing the wall, just up and down. Ooh. Good balance. We start that again. So straighten out the leg, bring it back behind you a bit. There you go. Now lift up and down. Good. That's perfect alignment with the leg there. You don't want it drifting out in front of you doing the same thing because it just changes it a little bit. But this is nice looking. Now we didn't hang around for too many reps on the far side, so let's do another 4, another 3, another 2, and do one more. And then you pause with the leg down at the bottom. You're going into your leg circles, so come out towards the front like the side kick, up to the ceiling, back down and around behind you. And forwards, up and around. Beautiful. Nice and smooth. Again, not too much movement going on through the body, which is very good skill to a high level that you have with it already immediately off the bat. Can you do 5 more?
Yeah.
4 more. 3 more. 2. And last one, bring the leg back behind you even more. There you go. Bend the knee up. Hold on to the rope. Just gently take the foot out, okay? Return the carriage slowly and smoothly, just not to catch your feet, okay? You can put the strap back on. Beautiful. So we're going to mix things up now. We'll leave the legs alone, go back to kind of working the abdomen and the arms. So I'm going to just reposition, change things around here. So we just have the one red spring on. What I'm going to do, I'll pop this guy up. So what we're flowing into is called knee stretches. Alright, I'm going to kind of play around with different versions of it. Now with our spring selection, I'm going to put on a red, so I have the red on, but I'm putting on a blue. Now I'm just going to demonstrate this one first.
Okay.
Alright. So the setting up into it is just easier to demonstrate than actually verbally describing this one to you. So as I'm in this position, first things first, you need to set the pelvis. So you know that backward rotation of the pelvis. So thinking like I'm trying to flex my spine, kind of like an angry cat or something like that. Now I keep all of that very rigid and same in my stomach. And I push the carriage away through my arms. And just go to where you can. Like I'm going out as far as practice is a good amount. But you know, if you want to go back a little bit and then explore into your range. Now I've set you up with those 2 springs because it is actually quite facilitative. It helps with the movement. Your arms are actually going to be under a bit more pressure compared to your back.
Okay.
Now I'm going to just demonstrate what I don't want to see, and I'm going to keep a close eye to make sure. So I myself here in quite good form. You see how my lower back is nice and like kind of nearly rounded in.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Okay.
So if you're in here, that's a lot of pressure in the lower back, especially if you drop the hips down. You're just not going to be ready for it.
Okay.
So nothing like that. So again, setting up, rounding off, pushing back, come forward, lift your head up. And back. So let's give it a laugh.
Okay.
We're going to do that, and then we're going to flow into another few series after it, but nice and slow pacing. Excellent. And then forward as you breathe in. You feel that tension and you pull out, isn't it? So with those 2 seconds, do you feel it's a little bit more in the arms?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to stick with that for just kind of maybe 2-3 more repetitions, and then I'm going to start to just scale things, again making it a bit more challenging. But we'll go as you're ready for them, alright?
Okay.
And I should do one more. Nice, full range. Well able. And back. Good. So there's absolutely no change in that pelvis orientation.
Okay.
So this is why I'm actually going to scale you, because I see that.
Okay.
Because I can see you have plenty of control. So I'm going to take off a blue spring.
Yeah.
Now you're going to limit your range on the first couple of reps. I don't want you going gung ho just in case. So back into position. Setting the pelvis, backward rotation, rounding the back, push away, slow, and now come back. Do you feel that difference?
Yeah.
So as we go back now, see if you can go a little bit further. If you're okay to try that a bit more range. More demanding on the stomach, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now up again. So let's stay here for a few more reps. Are you alright with it?
Yeah.
Or is it too much?
No, it's good.
Lovely. Picture perfect form. Good on you. to do 2 more.
Okay.
And then I want to challenge you further on these ones because I think you're really good. Nice long breath out, push away, and pull yourself up again. So, we're going to make it harder. Careful there. So just when we go down to one spring, the carriage actually can move a bit more unpredictably. Yeah. You'll be okay. The carriage is close to the floor as well. So how I'm making this harder, I've gone to 1 glute spring. So it's going to be more challenging here in the stomach muscles. So again, we're going to limit the range to explore into what you feel comfortable with on this. So be a bit closer to you just in case you need assistance coming out of it or anything. I don't think you will, but just safety and all that. So set the body, push away halfway, maybe quarter way, halfway, then come forward. And then again. And only going back a bit further if you feel you think you can, you know. Exploring your limits again as we push on intensity. Yeah, that's excellent. Well done. Tightening in stronger and then you pull back. Good work. Big difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stomach gets a bit shaky on these ones.
You're working.
Yeah. Gently down. Good. Will we work 3 more?
Yeah.
And 2 more. And 1 more. And return. That's excellent. So I'm going to get you just to put on the red spring. I'm going to come off over the edge. So I want to just mix things up here as I was kind of saying. So like that was a bit more strength orientated. We haven't really worked on any flexibility. So I think now is a nice time to do that.
Okay.
We're kind of coming closer to the end of the hour. So I'm going to demonstrate here. So it's really to work in on your hamstring.
Okay.
And we're going to go into a split position. So I'm going to actually go down to 1 red spring. Putting that on just for you when you're coming off. You keep both hands on the bar. I'm going to keep you to keep that. You're going to keep that your left knee on the bed. My right leg goes out to the front. You see how my toes are up in the air?
Yeah.
Just a bit nicer for the ankle. That's
Okay.
all. You're going to push back, and then you're going to come forward. So I want you going in a range that you're comfortable with. See, I'm going to come back all the way with my left knee.
Yeah.
Push back. Come forward. So there's a little time and tension. Now, just with like same with like flexibility and strengthening, you can scale things on intensity. I want this one to be comfortable.
Okay.
When you go back, you're like, ah, that's nice.
Yeah.
that's what you're feeling. And I don't want you to go beyond that. So push it back smoothly, slowly. Good. So it depends on the person as well. Like, you know, it's technically this is a front split type movement. So it's opening up at the front of the left hip and it's really opening up the back of that right leg.
Yeah.
Where do you feel it the most out of curiosity? It's your left.
Left. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. The further I reach, the more I can feel on my hamstring.
Yeah. It's an absolutely brilliant one. Feels amazing after we do this.
Yeah.
Good. So let's do 3 more and then we'll swap sides. Nice long, slow breath out. We're calming things down now. Excellent. Opening up the body. Do you do much stretching after running or
I go through
between
phases,
sessions?
yeah, where I'll be better and other times I'm not, but I try to do a bit.
Maybe any running goals for this year? Or is it just fitness? Yeah, just for the joy of it.
Yeah, speed maybe.
Walk around the carriage instead of going over it. Okay.
Yeah.
Speed, oh yeah, okay. Pick it up the pace.
Yeah,
Put it
exactly.
on here. So setting up, the front leg is straight. Keep the toes up in the air on the heel, that's it. Both hands on, just pushing back till you feel that nice stretch. Long breath out and coming forward again. Excellent. you always been quite flexible
Yeah,
without having to put much work into it?
yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely getting more range than I'd normally see through classes and stuff. So let's go for 3 more, just that nice slow pacing. And last one. Brilliant. Coming forward, you can bend that knee. You stand up over the edge of the carriage. So just as we finish off, just with those kind of comfortable stretching, you calming things down, how we would typically finish the class is I get them to put all springs on, just because it keeps the carriage a little bit more stable for the next people who arrive, you know, just in class settings and stuff. And then we disinfect the bed, you know, with the spray and all that. But, have you any thoughts or questions after finishing through this hour of flow?
No, it was really enjoyable and really nice to work like every part of the body and finish with flexibility as well. It's like a really nice flow to the class. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Like hopefully we'll get you back again next year. I'd love to teach more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's a lot of different flows and ways I can mix and match things.
Yeah.
This is just a little bit like introduction really, and just to challenge you on the scaling. But I think for you, I'd love to challenge you further.
Yeah, definitely.
The control is
do it
excellent.
next time for sure.
Good stuff. Thanks for being thanks. You're very good.
Thank you.
Maybe too good.
No, we like falling off the edge.
Yeah.